Hi guys, it's me again, KL Cool. What's up, y'all? Well, I saw Dame Dash talking yesterday on Kanye. Now, you know Dame Dash is the guy that signed Kanye's first album to Rockefeller. A lot of people like him, a lot of people don't. But let's just have a quick listen to what he said.
He's my brother.
How often do you guys speak? Like, you lot constantly in contact? Or?
Not constantly.
Yeah.
When he needs me. And when I'm worried about him.
How do you feel about him right now? He cool? Are you worried about him, or is he?
What do you think I'm worried about?
Is he? I don't know, because you could tell me. Can
I ask you a question? Is he bipolar or not? Did he tell you that?
He did. He told the world that.
So if you checked off the boxes of bipolar, is he acting that?
Yeah.
So then leave it at that.
But
look, worry about his health if you care about him at all.
But you don't think he's doing bits that, like, he's making sense to it?
I'm just saying that regardless to what he's saying, it's the way he's saying it.
Yeah.
So I don't care what he's saying.
It's about how he's going about it.
I want him to live.
Yeah, okay.
Y'all worried about the wrong shit.
Yeah.
If you know a man has a problem and you know he might be checking the boxes off for the symptoms of that problem, why do you judge him as if he doesn't have a problem?
It's kind of like what I've been saying the whole time. Like, why are people reacting off what Kanye says, when we know he's got bipolar? He has admitted it. He made an album with it on the title. I'm not saying he takes medication for it, though. And I think that's where the integral problem lies. That when he is in a mania state, he really is in a mania state. But a lot of people with bipolar don't like taking the medication because they feel like their creativity is squashed when they're on the meds. You'll see in this interview he did a year after his hospitalization that Harley Pasternak put him in. That's another whole story, that guy. The MK Ultra personal trainer put him in. He never took medication. They obviously did initially inject him with a lot of stuff because he was pretty much drugged out, as he said. But he didn't like it. And it is his prerogative if he wants to not take the meds, I think. You know, at the end of the day, if he feels like his creativity and his ability is squashed by the meds, then, you know, c'est la vie. I don't think he's hurting anyone, and I think exactly what Dash said, just stop reacting off someone that you actually know has bipolar. He does not mince his words, Kanye. He says words without thinking. And I noticed yesterday a lot of people have come out. A lot. Every, famous black person from 50 Cent to even Dave Chappelle in his stand-up, Jamie Foxx. I have seen so many people come out saying, just leave him alone, man. He does have bipolar. And he is a creative genius, but with that, you just got to take his words with a grain of salt. Have a listen to what he says on Jimmy Kimmel.
I have to get it. I feel like you avoided this album title.
Yeah, no, I don't.
I mean what it says right here on the
I hate
title.
being bipolar. It's awesome. I have a theory about you, so tell me if this is correct. I feel like you feel like being bipolar is part of what makes you brilliant, part of what makes you you, and you embrace it.
Yeah, I think that's another one of those things where people are like, how are you going to talk about it? The funny thing is, this is something I was like on the internet before. It was kind of funny, but it's not an opposite. It's not I hate being bipolar. It's awesome. It's actually, it drives more of how you really feel. It doesn't do an opposite thing. So I think it's important for us to have conversations about, open conversations about mental health, especially with me being black, because we never had therapists in the black community. We never approached like taking medication. And I think it's good that when I had my first complete blackout at age 5, my mom didn't fully medicate me because I might have never been yay. And there's times where at least I'm happy that I know, like even like for this interview, I knew I wanted to stay in a calm state because by the time I got to TMZ, I was ramped up. So what was awesome is that the world got to really experience someone in a ramped up state. And that's when you get these comments that just shoot out, like almost like Tourette's.
Because you have highs and lows. And when you have a high, you're on a roll. And when you have a low, you're not.
Well, there's some cases of bipolar where people go low. I'm one that goes high.
I see.
Like Michelle Obama said.
So you don't have extreme periods of depression?
Oh, no.
No. Oh.
No. Because I just say it. I'll say it on real TV, like, oh, I thought about killing myself, and then the thought is gone, you know?
Wow. So all people need to do is get on TV. That's really the solution.
Well, they need to be able to express themselves without fear of judgment. What I love telling people is like, who do you know? And let's go, especially black men, but you know, I'm 41 years old, and I don't know anyone, you know, that up as much as I have that's still as successful. So I want to prove that you can get fat, you can say the wrong things, you can piss a whole
and you can
off.
be president of the United States.
Well, yeah, it's
There's one person. Kanye West, everybody. This is his album. It's called Yay.
So there you go. He explains why and how he has the bipolar, and he thinks it's awesome because it gives him the power and the ability, I guess, to just stay awake. That's why he gets so exhausted because of it, because he stays awake. Now, that interview that I put up about Kanye a couple of days ago, it was only short. This is the whole interview. This part is very, very muffled, and there's a lot of noise in the background. But I'm going to play you the whole interview right to the end, because he does say some other things. And yeah, I don't think he's saying anything too out there other than his mum was sacrificed. But then I've heard a lot of people say that. So I don't know. When there's smoke, there's fire. There's got to be some type of truth. What does Kanye say? I keep saying Kanye. I know I shouldn't. It's yay, yay. That they traumatize and monetize. You know what I mean? I think the real villain in this story of Kanye is this Harley Pasternak, this so-called personal trainer from Canada who worked in the military for a few years, and he specifically worked on mind-altering drugs and helping people with their psychological disorders. That's how he framed it. It's very dubious because a lot of people he has been in contact with. Let's just say that I'm going to put a list up. There is a huge list of people that have worked with him, and some have passed, like Mac Miller, Brittany Murphy, and then others are still alive. But are they really? Or are they just under the control? Because Britney Spears, she was also trained by Harley, and look what happened to her. We don't even know where she is anymore. You know who she reminds me of is, what's his name's wife? David Miscavige. Haven't seen her for 12 years and they're still saying she's alive. This is how I say they are treating Britney. That, oh yeah, Britney's alive. Well, why don't you show us? I don't believe she's either alive or catatonic state or something, because they won't show us the real Britney, and they won't show us in live time. They just keep putting out day after day after day spinning videos. That's it. And what does that mean to you? What does that mean to the average person looking at her Instagram? That Britney looks crazy. And, you know, maybe she is. But I know she doesn't run her social media, and it's in the court records, documents, that she doesn't. So people have to stop talking about all the BS of her posts. I'm going to say it every day I talk about Britney, that you got to stop believing and reading into that, because it's got nothing to do with Britney. It's just diversion tactics. I'm not the only one that thinks this, but I am one of the very few that thinks this. I mean, why do you think Dave Chappelle stuck up for Ye on SNL, which is made by a Jewish man, Lorne? SNL's got some huge flack for allowing this to go up, but I don't think that he is traumatizing Jewish people. I really don't. And I don't think that that was his intention. I think his intentions were more to stick up for Ye. Even though he was making fun of him and saying, you've gone too far this time, son. But everyone was saying that. But do you remember when he actually was offered $50 million for some Comedy Central deal? Back when he was making the Dave Chappelle show? And then he started feeling really weird about it, like some dodgy stuff was going on. And he really hasn't pinpointed every point of what it was, but he just kept on saying a lot of people were saying he was crazy. And a lot of people were saying, hey man, you need to settle down because you're acting like an insane person. I think you need medication. I'm going to play the interview he did on Oprah. Not the whole interview, but just the bit where he talks about how he just had so many people around him telling him something that he was like, but I know I'm not crazy. And then he left like a thief in the night. He went to Africa for years in the middle of the night and told nobody. That's big. I've never thought Dave Chappelle was crazy or had a nervous breakdown or any of that. I just think he was running away because he was shit scared. And I think that's why a lot of the people around Kanye are sticking up for him, because they know what happens. They know if you talk out badly of the big bosses, then some bad stuff may happen. And I'm not talking the Illuminati. I'm not talking about all that conspiracy stuff. I'm talking about big business can be real nasty, because the root of all evil is cash money. And why does this keep happening? That stars keep dying or family members of theirs keep dying. I know everyday people don't experience this much trauma. So what's up? Have a quick listen to this interview.
And then after that, I was coming back to the show, and then they were like, well, Dave, you should just back up the pneumonia story. And I was like, that was your thing. I'm not backing up a pneumonia story. And then the next day it was in the paper that I had writer's block. Then I knew something was getting ready to get stressful because I hadn't even started writing. I was on schedule to write. So I was like, what's going on? Are they going to...
So these are your people trying to
manipulate me. Sounds like somebody's trying to put young Dave in a compromising position. But, okay, so then I got worried. So when I said I'm not going to do it, then all of a sudden it was like, well, now he has walking pneumonia. And then I knew long before I walked, I had considered walking.
You had considered?
I had considered walking because I went back to work and the vitamin love was gone because it was a real ugly negotiation. It's a situation where now everybody's taking credit for this and that and the other. It was getting ridiculous. And I knew I was going to leave, so I got ahead of schedule and I bounced. And I didn't tell anybody where I was going. The whole time, they're trying to convince me I'm insane. They were trying to get me to take psychotic medication. Yeah. Like I'm sitting around, I was stressed out, but the people that were telling me I was insane, I believe that they knew what was going on. So, this was troublesome.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not taking this medicine, man, because I know these people be trying to control you or maybe discredit you. I was afraid,
But you were stressed out. That's why.
There's no question. But it's very stressful for someone to constantly walk behind you and say, you're insane. Oh, hey, how about this? I showed up to work the first week, and where my office used to be, they built a wall there.
Why?
I didn't know why. But it came out later that they were like, well, they said you wanted it. I don't want to be walled up at the office. I like hanging out and talking.
Okay. You got up and you walked out and nobody knew where you were going. Did your family know?
Nah, I called my brother.
Yeah.
Me and my brother, real cool. I called him up, was like, I'm going to Africa. He's like, cool, man, it's good.
Did your wife and children know where you were going?
No.
No, nobody knew.
No. I bounced.
Now, that sounds a little crazy.
It's not crazy because the situation kind of warranted it.
Okay.
Because certain people around me were putting my sanity in question, I would meet too much obstruction if I would say I'm doing something like this.
Okay.
So I figured, it wasn't that I didn't tell my wife. It was like, I'm not telling her till after I'm gone.
So after watching that interview, I'm sure a lot of you are like, oh, well, yeah, Kanye is saying pretty similar stuff. It's not crazy. And after this Harley Pasternak, thing coming out, that's real dark, man. That's real dark. Because MK Ultra is real freaking dark. Go and look it up. I'm not talking conspiracy here. It's a real deal thing that the CIA did. It really is. And man, brainwashing is real. I'm going to love you and leave you. I'll see you tomorrow.
You think about if Harley was part of intelligence, right? What kind of people you think are surrounding my kids? What kind of people you think are in that house right now? When my kids go to Sierra Canyon, it's a Jewish school that doesn't teach Christianity to these Christian kids. At Christmas time, they're teaching Kwanzaa to black kids. They say, hey, this is your Christmas. This is all indoctrination. This is all mind control. You gotta understand, like I don't believe I'm putting myself at risk because I think God uses me for a time like this. He put me in this situation and had y'all follow me from George Bush Don't Care to Beyonce Had the Best Video to now. For some reason, y'all are interested. 2 Chainz said, YSL belt buckle. Well, y'all niggas shoulders looking. Like, y'all are interested for some reason. And they wanted to medicate me every day. You realize, like, they could have just switched to medication and I wouldn't be here. And on the news, they would have said it was because of a mental issue, right? Yeah. I ain't never been back to the hospital since 2015, but every time they say I'm crazy, it's just when I'm saying the truth. So what's the crazy part, really? What's the crazy part, really?
If they can't scare you, they can't control you, they can't, they try to suppress you, but that's how they try to categorize
They
you.
can't control me. You get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq. They could control Charles Barkley. They could control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
But not you, man.
But they can't control me. You see, it ain't no name I won't name. Exactly. It's up.
Not you.
You know what I'm saying? And just for Minister Farrakhan, I love you, but the way you read that, I took that as a slight. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking no disrespect from nobody. So let's get on the phone and let's talk that out. I don't care who you are. I ain't taking no slice from nobody, right? I ain't taking no slice from nobody. It's God. That's the only person that I serve. My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed.
Me too.
You understand?
Yeah, I'm Christian too.
Michael Jordan, what about him? His daddy, right? Bill Cosby, his son, right? Dr. Dre, his son. You know, out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize. They want to monetize and traumatize. And God loved me. You understand? They hit me. Gap, Adidas, all that away. Still, Forbes, who hate me, right? Had to write net worth 400 million. Jesus is king. God loved me.
That's more important thing in life.
That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? And this truth is going to be heard. Y'all can't send none of y'all Meek Mills, y'all Puffies, y'all Lil Boozies, none of these names, none of these people that have to listen to y'all because they have legal. I never killed nobody, right? I'm the pussy that never killed nobody, right? But that means I can say whatever I want and not go to jail. And even if they did figure out a way, I'm still not backing down from what I said. It's Jewish people that did bad business. I'm Semite, so I can't be anti-Semitic. They stole our history from us. They stole who we are, and it's up. In Jesus' name, amen. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you.
To let the good vibes in and the bad vibes out. You feel me? You dig? Cheers, ballers.
How it real, how it real, feel so real. How it real, how it real, how it real, and that feels so real. How it real, how it real, real, how it real, feel so real. How it real, how it real, how it real, and that feels so